There we are. Just give me 1 second, everyone. All right, the computers are working slow today because of the rain. All right, everyone, welcome to the 187th District Court. It's raining outside, but it's still going to be a glorious day if everyone will drive appropriately. It amazes me that people will go 65 miles per hour on the freeway when it's raining like this. Sun's out, everybody's going 40. So I experienced a lot of splashes from F-150s. So what I'm going to do is everyone, as I'm going to give my speech that I always give. So everyone, please pay attention. You're in a courtroom. You're in the 187th District Courtroom. So whether you're Zooming from your home, from your office, you're in a courtroom, whatever you could not do if you were physically in the 187th District Court, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. If you behave inappropriately on the Zoom screen, your Zoom privileges will be revoked and you will be appearing in the courtroom. Now it's raining outside. I don't know if there's anyone who wants to leave their office or leave their home, come downtown, find parking space, deal with the flooding. So let's make today a happy Monday. To all of the defendants and those who are accused, this goes out to the inmates especially. You're not allowed to use a chat box. If you use a chat box, you will be sent back. To everyone else, including inmates, this is not The Bachelor. This is not The Bachelorette. Do not try to use your chat box to pick up dates. I know what you're thinking. Why would she say that? Because people have tried to do that. Do not be at your home sleeping in your bed. There are no tank tops allowed. There are no boyfriends, girlfriends in bed on this Zoom. Again, if you do any of those things or anything that's not professional or considered professional, then you will be required to appear in court and your Zoom privileges will be revoked. To all the defendants and those who are accused who are on this Zoom, your name will not be called. I repeat, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is Zooming in another courtroom. So be patient. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and invite you to a breakout room. Again, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and invite you to a room. To all of those who are accused or defendants, when I send your attorney to a breakout room, your attorney is probably going to want to speak to the prosecutor before they speak to you. So don't ask to go to the breakout room. If your attorney wants you in the breakout room, your attorneys will request you. I'm going to call the attorney's name. This is the order in which you'll appear. If you see that you're low on the list and you want to Zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to Zoom to another courtroom. However, if your name is called while you are Zooming in another courtroom, you will be placed at the end of the list. Charles May, Bo Wood, Ryan Kimbrough, James Toshi, Christine McDonald, Teresa Coase-Davila, Patrick Philick, Paul Torres. Is there any attorney's name that I have missed? Okay.
Judge, I'm sorry, Paul Parrish.
All right. Sorry, Paul Parrish. Okay, that's a unique spelling of your last name.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, looks like blame Ellis Island for that.
Okay. All right. Attorneys, when I call your name, I'm going to need to know the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. Charles May.
Good morning, Your Honor. Client is Patrick Sanchez, and I believe this CTD case, Your Honor.
I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Judge, there was other lawyers here that wanted to announce.
Oh, okay. Who are the other lawyers in the courtroom? George Schaefer, who
George
else?
Schaefer, Your Honor.
Jorge Canales.
Yes, Judge.
Anyone else?
Yes, Alberto Rodriguez. We're not on the docket, but we brought in for a plea.
Okay, just
Yes,
give us a moment. And I
Judge.
will, yes.
Your Honor, this individual, Santos, I just had a code 2 with her. So she will not be attending her court hearing. She was removed from the Zoom courtroom by the
Okay.
CERT team.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Let me see, where is Miss Santos?
Page 13.
Page 13. All right, so Charles May, I've sent you to breakout room number 2. Bo Wood,
Judge, I'm here on Mr. Anthony Warrington. He's the young man whose father's memorial was over the weekend, and I see his name on the screen, but I don't see him at the computer yet.
okay, he was supposed to be in the courtroom.
That was my memory as well, Judge.
So Mr. Warrington, do you see him? Oh, they have him in custody. I guess they did not release him.
That's what I'm afraid is correct, Judge.
Okay, we'll figure out why he
The
wasn't
DA
released.
And the DA dismissed the other case, so it was just one bond, and you knocked it way down. He said he could make it. So I don't know what happened either.
All right, we'll find out what happened. Brian Kimbrough.
Present, Your Honor, I have Ileano Honesto. It's an MTR. I have an offer from Marcus Sanders that I wanted to talk to her. She's in custody. Is she there? Because she might be in COVID. I don't know.
Judge, I'm going to put something on the chat.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, James Toshi.
Judge, good morning. I have, excuse me, I have Brenda Carvajal. That is a plea. The paperwork is ready. I don't know if you recall, procedurally, we got stopped due to an immigration issue, but that has been resolved. So we are ready to finish that plea off when the court can accommodate us.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Davila, is that who you're here for?
No, Judge, I'm here for Jose De Leon.
Okay, all right, check.
Mr. Schaefer, I believe, has subbed in as his defense attorney.
All right, and have you had a chance to talk with George Schaefer?
I haven't. I just found out it was him last week.
All right, to the courtroom. Could you go to breakout room number 4?
Yes, Judge.
And Ms. Davila, I'm sending you to number 4.
Thank you.
Sure. Christine McDonald.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here on Joseph Sanchez Contreras with criminal trial.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Joseph Sanchez Contreras with criminal trial, Judge.
I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
Patrick Phillips.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Gregory Dela Cruz, and Mr. Dela Cruz is here in my office with me. This is a case with David Lunan.
All right, we're going to get Mr. Lunan in here. As soon as you see Mr. Lunan pop in, let me know and I'll send you to a breakout room with him. Your breakout room with him is going to be breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Paul Torres.
Is that Paul Parrish, Judge?
No, Paul Torres.
Good morning, Judge. My mic was muted. Sorry about that. I'm here on Daniel James' friend, and he's in custody. And there's some records from CPS that we are waiting on. I filed the motion to release protected information this week, but I'm unaware if they've actually received the prior CPS documents yet.
All
So
right.
we can confer if you like.
I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Judge, would you also send me to breakout room number 6?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Who is the person? Brian Kimbrough. What was your client's name?
Oh, it's first name is Iliano, Iliano, and the last name is Honesto, Honesto.
All right. And Norma, this is who the chat is about?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When do you want to recall it?
And we can give them about 2 weeks, Judge. Let me give you that date. We can come back on the 23rd, Judge.
All right. We'll recall this, Mr. Kimbrough, on the 23rd.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
He's on the add-on, Judge.
All right. Thank you. All right. And who is the attorney for Jesse Solis?
That's Albert Rodriguez. He's in the courtroom, Judge. He was actually set in a county court for trial on the misdemeanor cases, but he was supposed to plead on the felony cases.
And is the defendant in custody?
Do you need my address?
I sent you a chat, Norma.
1919 San
Yeah.
Pedro.
Yes. All right. He's in custody. So when do we want to recall this?
We can do the same date, Judge. I don't know if Albert's in the courtroom.
Yeah, he is. Deputy Laura, could you let Albert know that his client, Jesse Solis,
George
is ill, and so we're going to bring him back on August 23rd.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Paul Parrish.
Right here, Judge. CTG, I believe.
What's your client's name?
Her name is Amy Barbosa.
I'll send you to number 7.
Thank you.
All right, George Schaefer.
I just spoke with the immigration attorney.
Yes.
She's going to send me a letter on this case. We'd like to ask for a 30-day reset, please.
Who's your client?
My client is named Jose de Leon Rodriguez.
All right, and is that enough time for Ms. Davila to have the letter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll have it done by then.
Okay. Norma, can we place this on August 23rd as well, or is that?
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
August 23rd?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, you may be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be
Thank you so much for coming. Yes, have a good one.
Thank you. Bye, you too.
Bye. All right, James Toshi on Brenda Carvajal.
Yes, ma'am.
What is her full name? Is it Vargas Carvajal?
Yes, ma'am, it is. All right, brother.
All right. I'm going to ask that everyone please make sure that you're on mute. And what we'll do, because I believe we stopped this when she said she's not a citizen, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll just start from the beginning. Is there a prosecutor available? Let me see.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 10196, State of Texas versus Brenda Carvajal Vargas. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
James Tochi, Judge.
And are you Brenda Carvajal Vargas?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
None.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Judge.
Ms. Carvajal, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have, Judge, and yes, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Vargas, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
I don't know. Tochi,
No, you're going on driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor.
okay, yes, Judge. Then we're going on the lesser included misdemeanor DWI.
All right, any objections?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Carvajal, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the state is proceeding on the offense of driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor? The range of punishment is anywhere up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
No, ma'am.
Listen to my question. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
She has, Judge.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Ms. Carvajal, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, very.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
Mr. Toshi, did you advise the defendant of the consequences of pleading no contest or guilty in the application of federal immigration law?
Judge, I referred her to an immigration attorney. I believe that she consulted with Melanie Lira. I'm not sure if Ms. Lira is here, but I did speak to Ms. Lira, and I know that Ms. Carvajal did speak to Ms. Lira as well, and she was advised of the consequences of her plea today.
Yes.
And do you believe she understands the consequences of entering a plea in this case?
I do, Judge, yes.
All right, off the record for a moment. David Lunan, there is an attorney waiting for you. If you'll send him and yourself to a breakout room, please. I'm sure he'll meet you there. All right, we're back on the record. Ms. Vargas, did you speak with an immigration attorney regarding the consequences of entering a plea in this cause?
Yes, ma'am. I got off the Zoom early this morning.
Okay. And were you advised of the possible consequences of entering a plea in this case, such as deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, and the denial of naturalization?
Yes, ma'am. I'm aware of all that.
Okay, and knowing all that, do you still wish to continue with this plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated. There's a $600 fine. The state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Judge.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 1 year. There be a TAP evaluation, 60 hours of community service restitution, ignition interlock for half the term of supervision, DWI education, and the DIP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
All right, state, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
Yes, Judge. The state offers States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Without objections, Judge.
Ms. Vargas Carvajal, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge, we're prepared for sentencing.
All right, anything you would say on behalf of your client?
No, ma'am, just that you follow the plea bargain. She's been on bond for a while. No need to call attention to her pretrial history with the court. I know that you are very well aware of it. Brenda and I have had some very serious, stern talks about your expectations while on this deferred, so don't need to belabor that point. The only other issue, Judge, is she currently has a pretrial condition of GPS. Myself and Mr. Nisbet, who I don't know if is here or not, we are in agreement to request the court remove that. That was a pretrial bond. They're not recommending it as part of her plea, and I would ask the court to please allow her to remove that GPS. She's not going to run. She has monitoring. It's no longer needed, Judge.
All right. All right, Ms. Vargas, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I work at part-time 7-Eleven, and I'm a waitress at a Mexican restaurant.
All right, so when you had this vehicle crash, where were the children?
With the grandparents.
Well, I'm reading the report and.
One was with me.
Okay. And how old was that child?
3.
And I guess, did they ever find the child that she said?
My dad had picked him up.
Well, no, in the police report, you say that your boyfriend, Rick, ran off with the child, and they end up calling the Eagle Eye helicopters to try to find the boyfriend with the child. So I'm trying to take you back to this incident, the incident where you had 2 alcoholic twisted teas and 1 shot of Jameson whiskey. So I'm trying to go back to this day. So what happened to the child? Because you said, Rick, you crashed the vehicle in a fence at the airport. You said that Rick took off running with the child. So I'm trying to figure out, when was the child found and where was the child?
He was found the same night. My dad had went to pick him up from him at his house. And I believe the cops also went to check on the baby at Rick's house, if I'm not mistaken.
Was Rick even in the vehicle with you?
Yes, he was.
So how many children do you have?
I have 3 children and 1 on the way.
And what are their ages?
I have a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
And you're able to take care of these children on a 7-Eleven?
They go to daycare.
Okay.
And my little girl goes to school.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. $600 fine, probated, 1 year deferred adjudication, ignition interlock for half the term, parenting classes, DWI education course, DIP, removal of GPS by agreement. And I believe she's on a monitor at home. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that monitor, I don't want any downtime between transferring from that monitor to ignition interlock. Proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or any employment involving minor children. Was CPS involved in this at all? Child Protective Services involved at all?
Not for this case, no.
CPS compliance, if applicable. What was your previous CPS history?
I got beat up by that same ex, and that was before the DWI happened. So CPS was already involved because of family violence.
All right, and are you, and this is the person who you said took the child and ran away, Rick?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm assuming the father of the baby you're carrying is Rick?
No. That's long gone.
All right, so your relationship with Rick was still, you were still in a relationship with him in 2020.
Yes.
And now you're in another relationship in 2021 of August.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just want you to hear that and internalize that. So we'll do CPAS compliance if applicable. I'm going to want field visits 2 times monthly, random. 60 hours of community service restitution. Rebecca, is there anything else she needs?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Vargas, is there anything else you need from this court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, next I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We can go off the record. Now, here's what I'm going to say to you, Ms. Vargas. You said, I think 3 children and 1 on the way.
Yes.
And you keep going in and out of relationships. Here's the thing. When you bring someone in your children's lives, you need to be certain of who that person is that you're bringing in your children's life. Now, the child you had with you during this accident at the airport, she's been traumatized, or he's been traumatized because his mother was driving intoxicated. You said in the report you were getting into an argument with Rick because you accused him of cheating. So they're involved in the crash. Then they have their father, according to you, taking him from the vehicle or her from the vehicle, running, police getting involved, helicopters being called out. For that child to be that young, that child has had a lot of trauma in their life. Yes. And I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody. You're an adult, that child is not an adult. You cannot send that child off into the park and say, go raise yourself. None of the children ask for the parents that they have. So it's up to you to be a better parent to them. And going in and out of relationships, that's not good for your children, because children need stability. And if you would have spoken and learned in CPS, that's what they always say, children need stability. So yes. Maybe you need a class. I can't give you a class on self-esteem building, because I don't know if that class exists, but you may need that. And I'm gonna tell you what I tell all the guys.
I have counseling right now.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna put in there then, Rebecca, she's to continue with counseling. And I'm gonna tell you what I tell all the guys. You probably shouldn't get involved in a relationship until you can have an orchid, and that orchid grows and blooms for a year. Because orchids require patience, they require tenderness, you can't move them around a lot, they require a lot of attention.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm hoping your relationship works out, but if it doesn't, do not get into another relationship until you can take care of an orchid for a year. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. They'll go over conditions with you. Mr. Toshi, you can go to 1, or either you can be excused.
Judge Boyd, real quick, did you order removal of her GPS? I'm sorry.
Yes, I did.
Okay, and I had one last request. I know we're not on the record. Is there any way you might give her credit for her 2 jobs toward her community service? I know some judges do that. I don't know if you do or not.
No.
She's got a big plate.
No, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to do that. Because in the United States, for some reason, people do not want to deal with consequences, right? It's like she has 3 children, 1 on the way. These are choices she made. The relationships, these are choices she's making. I don't know about her life or what's going on with her life, but these are all choices that she's making. And choices have consequences.
Okay, understood. Was just asking. I'm gonna let her go to the breakout room, Judge. I've got to go to another Zoom.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
I'm glad we got through it. Thank you, Judge.
Sure. All right, Brenda, sometimes people don't want to hear lectures. They don't want to hear the truth. Life is filled with consequences. from choices. All right, happy Monday, everybody. Christine McDonald, you're back.
Hello, Judge. Yes, I've conferred with the state and my client. We're requesting a trial in this case.
All right, and that's Joseph Contreras.
Yes, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to a breakout room. Who is the prosecutor on this?
I've spoken to both Mr. Sanders and I spoke with someone else this morning.
Well, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3 so you all can confer over a trial date. And Ms. Ferguson will meet you in number 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And could a prosecutor go to number 3, please? All right, Bo Wood.
Yes, Judge. I see Mr. Warrington's back.
All right, Mr. Warrington, where are you?
Right here, ma'am. Wearing brown. There we
All right,
go.
Mr. Warrington, why were you not released? I had ordered that you be released.
I couldn't get in contact with anyone to pay my bond. He released me on a $2,500 bond, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody could pay my bond. I couldn't get in contact with anyone. So.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I am too. Did you, when was the memorial?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
But I had somebody, what I did was they gave us 3 phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was able to get in contact with somebody, but because I wasn't there, I was able to speak over the phone. And speak my piece and say my last goodbyes that way. But other than that was.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I'm glad you were able to speak though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we had done the first part, Judge. He had entered a plea and we were just down to the second part and it was his election. I believe
Yes.
is where we were.
All right, who is the prosecutor on this, please?
I was, Judge.
Because I was shocked you were here, Mr. Warrington. I was like, he's supposed to be in the courtroom. And then I saw your name pop up.
Yeah.
All right, so my understanding before we go on the record is that you decided to take 2 years. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to go back on the record. The court is back on the record in 2021 CR 0399, State of Texas versus Anthony Warrington. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Bo Wood on behalf of Mr. Warrington. He's present. We were ready.
All right, and are you Mr. Anthony Warrington?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this hearing began on July 28th. The defendant pled true to violations of condition 1 and 5. The state waived all other allegations. The court found there was sufficient evidence. I'm sorry, the court did find 1 and 5 true. This is reset for August 2nd so that the defendant could attend a memorial service. Do both parties still agree to continue by video, state?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Warrington, do you still wish to proceed by video?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and so Mr. Warrington, the court gave you a choice. And the choices were you could be revoked and sent to 2 years in the prison, which is the minimum, or you could go to ISF. My understanding, you had a chance to confer with your attorney. Is that correct, Mr. Warrington?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Mr. Warrington, what do you wish to do?
Well, ma'am, I took TDC.
All right. Oh, Mr. Warrington, I want you to be sure. I'm not trying to pressure you. If you need to, you're more than welcome to speak with your attorney again. If not, we'll go forward.
And just for the record, Judge, what he and I had talked about was he has 152 days credit of actual incarceration. And he wanted you to know, as you see, he's wearing brown, not orange, which indicates he's working and he's a cook. So he's in the kitchen, I'm sure, making. They're gonna hate to let him go. He may stay in Bexar County. They may not let him go. He's working in the kitchen.
All right. All right, then what the court will do then is the court will grant the motion. And the court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time that you've served. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either side?
No, Judge.
No, you're
And I'm sorry, one other thing, there's to be no contact with Brianna Lynn Wilburn. And that is BRYANNA, Lynn, LYN, Wilburn, WILBURN. All right, Mr. Warrington, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Warrington, good luck to you. We'll close the record. And Mr. Warrington, here's the thing. You're at a crossroads in your life. How old are you?
46.
I'm sorry, how old?
46.
All right, you're going to have to make some decisions. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself constantly in and out of prison. If you have a drug or alcohol problem, there are plenty of free programs, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck
And
to you,
Judge-
Mr. Warrington. Yes.
Judge, he has 5 children, and he's well aware of what his responsibilities, where his responsibilities and duties lie. And I think he has a plan. You know, he went to college for culinary, so he's a chef. I said cook. I thought actually he's a chef. And then he went back to college. He went back to college and got some business administration classes. So I think he's got a great future. He just has his own personal problems to get through, but he's got people that look to him. He's got 5 children expecting him home. So.
Okay. All right. Good luck, Mr. Warrington. I keep wanting to say Worthington because I think of the actor Sam Worthington.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Warrington. Have a great rest of your day, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Bud, do you need to speak with him anymore or no?
I do not. Good luck, Mr. Warrington. And Judge, may I be excused to go to another court?
Yes, thank you.
And Meredith, thank you. She dismissed that other case. That I thought would get him out. So thanks.
Okay. All right. Paul Torres.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi.
We did have a chance, Mr. Saldani and myself had a chance to speak with the prosecution. They have not received the records from CPS yet. However, we've been advised that they should be able to receive those records expedited within 2 to 3 weeks. So we are requesting a reset to later August or early September.
Oh, no. We've been waiting for CPS records on this case since November 19, 2020. I have CPS records. Then we come back December 14th. Then from there, February 25th, CPS records. Then we come back June 25th, CPS records. And now we're back here again for CPS records. So has anyone subpoenaed the records and where are they? Does anyone know?
My understanding is that they have been subpoenaed by the state.
That's correct.
All right, so Shay, do we have any idea when they will give you the records?
Yes, Judge, I just called Marina. They were subpoena. The last subpoena was in June. She told me they should be here within 3 weeks. And that's why it was the August 23rd. We don't have them yet.
All right, Norma, can we recall this August 23rd?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on August 23rd.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, and then Jorge Canales, who do you have?
Judge, I had a PSI for Eric Garay. He wasn't in the courtroom, so I ended up coming home and getting on Zoom. I had requested the PSI, but I haven't received it yet.
All right, they'll send it to you. If you'll put your email in the chat box, we'll make that happen.
I will do that, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Norma, on Contreras, do they have a trial date?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and what's that date?
Norma gave us September 30th, Judge.
September 30th?
Yes.
All right, who is the prosecutor on this, please?
Mr. Sanders.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 11338, State of Texas versus Joseph Contreras. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Christine McDonald.
All right. And is this your client? Are you Joseph Sanchez Contreras?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state, have you tendered an offer to the defense in this case?
Yes, Judge.
And Mr. Contreras, it's the court's understanding that you're rejecting that offer. Is that correct?
I'm rejecting that offer, ma'am.
Okay. Defense, have you received all the discovery in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state defense, the court does not have a copy of the discovery acknowledgement. State, are you able to provide the acknowledgement of discovery by August 13th?
Yes, Judge.
All right, it's my understanding that both the state and defense have conferred on a trial date. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, any objections to September 30th, 2021 at 9 a.m. as a trial date?
No, Judge.
Defense, any objections to September 30th, 2021 at 9 a.m. as a trial date?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Contreras, do you have any objections to September 30th, 2021 at 9 a.m. as a trial date?
I have no objections.
All right, then Mr. Contreras, your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements that are reached after today. Your jury trial is scheduled for September 30th at 9 a.m. Your trial will be located in the 187th District Court. It's located at 300 De La Rosa, 4th floor. Do you understand?
I understand, ma'am.
So what day is your trial date?
September 30th,
At what time?
8 o'clock.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
At 8 o'clock.
9 a.m. But it's fine for you to be here at 8 a.m. All right, which court?
187.
Okay, we will see you then. And they will bring you over. If you're at the Bexar County Jail, they'll bring you over dressed for trial. If you are on bond, then you will need to appear. Do you understand?
I understand.
All right, we'll close the record. Ms. McDonald, do you need to speak with your client anymore?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, can you let them know that 14M can go back? And unless you have someone else with us, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Norma, on Myra Santos, they had to take her back.
Yes, ma'am.
And could you make sure for her attorney, whomever that attorney is, he needs to find out if she's still taking her medications.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when do you want to try to recall her for this week, but do it in the afternoon when she's the only one?
We can do it on a Wednesday, Judge.
All right, and make sure that her attorney knows that he'll need to be here on time. So August 4th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Charles May.
Good morning, Judge. I visited with my client, Judge. First of all, today is his birthday, and then second of all, him and Dad really need to talk. Is there any way, Judge, that we could extend this to a Wednesday or Thursday? So I think with Dad talks to him that we can.
Where's Patrick Sanchez?
He was on there, Judge.
Yeah, he's not here.
He's still in breakout room 2, Charles. I'll put you.
All right, if you can have him, if you go to number 2 and have him come out of 2, please.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Yes, what is happening with Barbosa?
Judge, I think we got an agreed plea of true, and if there's any paperwork, I think the Ms. McIntyre had said we ready to.
All right, if you'll put in the chat box your email to Ms. Ferguson.
I'm doing that right now.
Thank you. All right, Jorge Canales. All right, while he gets that done, Richard Langlois, who do you have?
Allison Dawn Elliott.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
It's a trial.
I'll send you to number 8.
I will be there.
All right, Norma, who was the case that David Lunan was here on?
Your Honor, that would be my case. That's Gregory Dela Cruz.
All right, what is happening with Gregory Dela Cruz?
Your Honor, it looks like we're going to have a plea agreement on that.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I would like to confer with the Ms. Reyes, if I may.
Yes.
CLO.
Okay. Let me find you. You are in number 5. If you go back to number 5, she will meet you in number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Leo Gonzalez, who do you have?
Your Honor, I have Manuel Rodriguez.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Family Violence, Your Honor.
I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone, any attorneys in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor.
Yep.
All right, Charles Mayer, you're here on Patrick Sanchez.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so an offer has been tendered and you say your client wants a chance to consider it?
Yes, Your Honor. If he can have a chance to visit with his father, I think we can possibly work it out, Your Honor.
How old are you, Mr. Sanchez? Can you unmute for me, please?
Is it on mute?
Yes, it's unmuted.
Okay, today's my birthday. I turned 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. So is this where I say happy birth month? I don't know. But this is where we are, Mr. Sanchez. You're 30 years old. I'm going to give you a time to talk to whomever you want to talk to. But let me give you my speech that I give everyone about this.
Yes, ma'am.
Parents, for example, if you're going to a party and there are going to be drugs and alcohol at that party, you know when the parents want you to call them? When you're making a decision on whether or not to go to that party. And you tell your parents, hey, mom, dad, I'm going to this party. They're going to have alcohol and drugs there. What is your advice for me? As opposed to you getting arrested at the party, going to the Bexar County Jail, and then you call your parents and say, just so you know, I'm at the Bexar County Jail. I made a decision to go to a party where there are drugs and alcohol. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
People
ma'am.
need to start calling their parents and speaking to them before they get into situations. But I'm going to give you time to talk to your dad, your mom, or whomever else you want to talk to, okay? So is 2 weeks enough for you, Mr. Sanchez, to make your decision?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Norma, can we get a 2-week reset on Patrick Sanchez, please?
The 23rd, Judge.
All right, we're going to come back on August 23rd. Mr. May, have you received all the discovery in this case?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, I have.
All right, so Mr. Sanchez, this is a third setting case. August
ma'am.
23rd is going to be your plea deadline date. So what that means is you need to let the court know on or before August 23rd whether or not you're accepting the plea. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else, Mr. May?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, then we're going to excuse you. I hope your birthday is, as good as it can be at the Bexar County Jail.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. You have a blessed day.
All right, you too. Norma, can you let them know that 17E can go back, please?
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Lorraine Efron?
I'm here, Judge. I'm here. I'm
Yes, who do you
sorry.
have?
I have Miss Villalva. Can you? You're
Is
good.
it criminal child division or family violence?
Family violence.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And everyone, just give me a moment. I want to check the paperwork that I have. Just a moment, everyone.
Paul, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes. You
I
are-
sent
you
you to
joined the
break-
breakout room. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Canales, did you receive the PSI report? You're on mute, I'm sorry.
Yes, I did. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you received it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And Mr. Canales, your client is in the courtroom.
Okay,
Hello,
yes. no
everyone.
problem.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Jenny Cupid, who do you have?
Morning, Judge. I have James Cole.
All right, is it criminal trial division or family violence?
It is family violence. I confer with Allie. I don't know if she's available this time, Judge.
Who is Allie?
I don't know. I have
She
88
was filling
Allie.
in.
I'm sorry, what, Marcus?
She filled in when David and Joey were out.
Okay, I was like, I don't know that person. I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Leo Gonzalez, Manuel Rodriguez.
Yes, Your Honor. Me and Joe Ray conferred. We're still waiting on some CPS records. They have been ordered. They should be back by August 13th. I was hoping to get a date, maybe August 20th or 30th, just to make sure they have enough time to get them in, and then we can get a deadline after that.
All right, Norma, can we bring this back on August 23rd as well?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on August 23rd.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Norma, I don't see Mr. Langlois' client on here. I think she's in custody too. It's Allison Elliott, and then she goes by another name, the last name Vasquez.
Okay, let me check.
No, she's not on the screen.
And I couldn't find it on the docket either. Maybe I'm missing something.
Do you have the case number? Can you send me the case number, Meredith?
I'll chat it.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else ready?
Judge, this is Lorraine.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm juggling. Okay, I conferred with Joe Ray Garcia, and here's the issue we have. There was this issue of a surveillance video from an offense involving the complaining witness in our case and the defendant in our case, where he was the defendant. The complaining witness was the defendant. And I have subpoenaed, so no, SAPD and DA's office don't have it. I subpoenaed the officer directly just to see if by chance he has it. And we let the sheriff's office serve the officer. It just seems to be easier that way these days. But we don't know if it's been served yet. And I know I haven't received a response from the officer yet. So that's where I am today on the case.
Okay, and that's an officer that's in Bear County, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
okay. So, State, Joe Ray, are you here? Let me see if he's in a breakout room. He's in a breakout room. As soon as he comes back, I don't see what the issue is to pick up the phone, have that officer appear for a hearing, and we see if he has the items or not.
I think that's fair.
So let's see, because we've been doing discovery in this case since October of 2020.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So we're gonna do something on this week.
do you want to recall it for later in the week?
Oh, I'm gonna wait. Let's wait
Okay.
till Joe Ray comes back from
Okay.
breakout room.
Okay,
And we're gonna get whomever needs to be here.
okay. So I have a plea in the works in the 186. May I stay on?
Yes.
mute? Okay, and stop video, and I'll be back.
All righty.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure, no problem. Richard Langwell?
Yes, I talked to Meredith. She needs to look up some out-of-county cases.
And Judge Norma confirmed that the cases were actually set September 2nd. So they weren't on the docket today. So I was trying to look at them real quick, but I'm not. They've got victims and probably
Okay.
just best to keep it on that date.
Yes. All right. So Richard, we'll see you on September 2nd.
September 2nd.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I may be gone that day, but I'll let you know.
All right. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Happy Monday.
Thank you, Judge.
Oscar Hernandez.
Morning, Judge. I'm coming in on a CTD for Mayor Santos.
She was
However,
sent back with the code too.
yeah, but I'm just reaching out to you again because, Judge, she's been in custody for about 2 months and they still, I believe, haven't done the mental health assessment that you brought her in for the violation because she wasn't showing up. And I'm kind of frustrated about that.
Well, I mean, I understand your frustration, but I mean, this would have been taken care of if she would have showed up. So
She's got
we're,
mental health issues. That's why she's not showing up, and that your court brought her into custody.
Yeah.
And we help get it assessed while she's there?
yes. So we'll be back on August 4th.
Judge, I did talk to Deputy Ladd. She is going to give, she's going to talk to the mental health nurse. I think her name is Wendy. So Oscar, Wendy's going to give you a call.
Okay. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Thank you.
Norma, could you have John Perez zoom in, please? Or either Jesse Hernandez?
John Perez?
Yes, or Jesse Hernandez.
Yes, ma'am.
It's on Edward Morales, 2021 CR 1586.
Edward Morales. Okay.
Yes, I'll put it in the chat. I don't know if I have the All right, Jenny, you are back on Mr. Cole.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cole has picked up a new case that's not yet been indicted. We were able to discuss that case a bit, and the state extended another offer, taking into consideration that new case that's pending now. I do need to spend some time with my client to talk to him about this.
All right, who is Mr. Cole? Where is he?
He's supposed to be here, Your Honor. I don't know that I see him on the screen.
Is this him? That's the Galaxy?
It may well be.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
All right, thank you, John.
Stacy Cross, who do you have?
I have Eduardo Escalera. I just sent him the Zoom ID, and we still have to go over the paperwork, Judge.
Okay.
This was the
Do you
last
have all the paperwork?
last night. Yeah, I think I have everything. From my emails, I think Norma and Andrew Ray have sent me everything.
All right, Mr. Parrish, are you ready?
Oh, Judge, I am still waiting on paperwork. I don't know where it was sent to. I've emailed Ms. Ferguson. I just haven't heard back or got anything in my email. So I'm kind of stuck. My client's in the breakout room, but I got out just to see.
It's
you
been
know,
sent to your email, sir.
Yeah, I didn't.
All right, I'm gonna send you all to breakout room number 3,
All right, and I can.
and we'll see where your paperwork is. Sometimes people give the wrong address. All right, Jenny Cupid.
Yes, Your Honor, I spoke with my client. He gave me some information that I need to follow up with regards to his employment and his whereabouts on a particular date of the alleged new offense. I would just request a 2-week reset in order to get that paperwork, review it, and to provide it to the state. I think it'll have bearing on the current offer that's on the table.
All right. So I'll extend your plea deadline date, but after this date that I give you, there will be no further extensions of plea deadline dates.
Thank you, Judge.
Let me find it. So we're going to recall this back on August 23rd,
Do you know the time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. And for now, it will be via Zoom, Judge?
Yes,
All right, August 23rd at 9 a.m.
yes. And I don't see your client. I guess he remained in the breakout room. So if you could have him come back.
I told him to come back, not to leave the
I'm
room.
here.
All right, Mr. Cole, we're going to be back on your case on August 23rd at 9 a.m. That will be your last plea deadline date. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements after that date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Cupid,
Thank
if
you.
you don't
God
have
bless.
anyone else? You're welcome. Thank you. You're both excused. All right, Robert Maurer, you have Hernandez.
Docket, Judge. I've got several people on your docket. Antonio Casablanca, Andre Hernandez, looks like, I think Devonta Hemphill.
Yes.
And then I think Norman had added, I had filed another motion to return property on DeAnthony Dixon that I think had been added.
Okay.
And I guess Casablanca is family violence. If I can confer with them to see if they've made a change. If not, that's going to be a jury trial.
Okay, and Hemphill is?
Let's see. That is CTD.
So Hemphill and Hernandez are CTD?
Yeah, Hemphill or Hernandez. Well, Andre Hernandez has CTD and family violence, but his main case is CTD with Marcus.
And then Casablanca is family violence?
Yes, ma'am. That's probably the easiest one to resolve one way or the other.
All
It's
right.
either dismissal or a trial.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, do you have the paperwork, Mr. Parrish?
I believe we do, Judge. It said it was going to be delivered to Judge Boyd for signature, so I think that works.
All right, well, we'll see if it comes through on this end.
Yeah.
Yes, I have it.
Great. And Miss Barbosa's, you can see her, she's muted, but she's in the jail blues.
All right, who is the prosecutor who was working on this case?
Today it was Miss McIntyre.
All right, let's see if Ms. McIntyre is here or in a breakout room.
I know Hunter Morris is on.
She's here.
Yes, okay.
All right, the court is calling 2018 CR 12234W, State of Texas versus Amy Barbosa. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Paul Parrish for the defense.
All right, and are you Ms. Barbosa?
Yes, I am, ma'am. Yes.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Barbosa, did you sign a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video conference. Ms. Barbosa, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. And next, I'm showing you state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation. Did you review those documents with your attorney and did you understand them?
Yes.
Are you the same Amy Barbosa who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 12234W for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram, on November 28, 2018 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes.
State?
We'll be reading from the supplemental motion. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Amy Barbosa, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February 2020, March 2020, April 2020, May 2020, June 2020, July 2020, August 2020, September 2020, and October 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
State?
State will waive the remaining violations.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
Ms. Barbosa, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, I do. Understand.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge, we have an agreement. We're asking this court to deny the motion, continue her on deferred adjudication, alter and amend her conditions to include a drug court referral, a TAP evaluation, following the recommendations, and weekly reporting and UAs for 60 days, and place her on zero tolerance supervision.
Is that the agreement?
That is the agreement.
All right, why should I follow this? Ms. Barbosa,
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't hear you.
why should I follow this? Why should I not send you to state jail facility? Because you were here last time.
Yes, I do.
And last time I gave you intensive outpatient treatment with probation. You were to have full-time employment within 30 days. And you were to do 8 hours of community service restitution per day until you had a full-time job. So first question, before you were taken in custody, did you have a full-time job?
Not full-time, was part-time.
Yeah. Were you doing 8 hours of community service restitution per day? Like I
No,
ordered?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
So again, why should I do this? I don't understand. You haven't been reporting since February 2020. Why should I continue on probation? Maybe you don't deserve to be on probation. Maybe you need to go to prison.
Because, ma'am, at this point of my time, of my age and the sickness that I'm going through, I don't want to be doing drugs anymore. I want to change. And I am looking for services, resources out there that's going to help me. And, you know, I just need to strain my life.
What you're telling me now, this is what you told me last time we were here on May 2019. So I'm hearing the same thing. You've been on this probation since November 2018. I'm not the one who took the plea on this, but you've been on probation since 2018.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't understand why we should be continuing with this. And where has she been? We're in August 2021. So where have you been?
I was with my mother. She had 4 surgeries and she had a kidney transplant, so I was taking care of her. And then with my daughter, she just recently had a baby, and we don't have no family, and she's in Buda.
I mean, Your Honor, I can interject if I may. I've talked a lot with Ms. Barbosa's mother and Ms. Barbosa's daughter. They have the significant amount of stability and family support. I mean, Ms. Barbosa's had a history of drugs, and I think I've talked to her about the similar things to what you've told her now. The plan would be that she would go back. She has her daughter who just gave birth to a second grandchild in Buda, Texas. She has her son over there and Kyle, and they're both within striking distance of San Antonio. If there's going to be any intensive stuff, she can make it to Bexar County. At some point, the probation could transfer if she stays there. But her health has been compromised by her drugs. She doesn't really have anybody in San Antonio except bad influences. Her mother is in the Valley, and her daughter and son are in Kyle. I think that's a good support structure over there. And I think Ms. Barbosa and I have talked about that situation. Her daughter wants her to come back with them. They understand, because they have young children, that there's not going to be any tolerance for drugs. And Ms. Barbosa.
Well, no, I mean, here's the thing, because there's young children, she shouldn't be around young children. And I've seen this before. I've seen this before as a CPS attorney. I've seen this before as a defense attorney, and I've seen this before as a prosecutor. Nobody wants problems visited upon them. She is a problem that's being visited upon her daughter and her son because they have children and they need a babysitter. And she is a drug addict, and she should not be babysitting anybody's children. She should not be alone with children. And I already see I can look in the crystal ball and I already know what's going to happen. What's going to end up happening is she's going to go live with her daughter. There's going to be some sort of emergency. Her daughter had to go to work. She couldn't get out of work, or either her daughter was just running to the grocery store, and it's going to end up with her babysitting the children. And there's going to be a whole host of problems.
Well, I think that the good news for that is that she has a son over there also, and she has aunts and other family in that area. That's where I'm saying there is a good support structure.
But she just told me, counsel, but she just told me that she's been with her mom because they had no family. And now I'm hearing that the mom got sisters, like these aunts, because I'm assuming if they're aunt, if they're her aunts, that means that they're her mom's sister.
No.
I mean, that's the way the family tree works.
Well, the mom lives in the Valley, so she doesn't live in this area. So rather than go back there, she wanted to stay, Ms. Barbosa wanted to stay with her daughter and her brother. She also has, she calls them aunts, but I guess they are cousins of your mother, right? Is that right, Ms. Barbosa? That live in the area. So
there's relatives. They're still relatives.
Yes, they're
relatives.
relatives.
I guess they're like so close that they don't even call them cousins. They call them aunts. So
I mean, that's what she's hoping. I think that she's at the end of her rope. I agree with you, Judge, on everything you said, but I know the family is committed to have her, and I think the daughter is a very strong person. I don't see that there would be any problem.
Well, here's the thing, Ms. Barbosa, I'm gonna give you a choice. I'm here to help people. I'm always open to helping people with their drug problems, because sometimes when you just let people go off into the wind, what ends up happening is their drug problem is visited upon other people. So I'm going to give you a choice. You're not getting released from the Bexar County Jail until you're transferred to felony drug court or some type of inpatient facility. So you can either wait on that, or either I can revoke you and I'll give you 1 year in the state jail facility. So I'm going to allow you to discuss with that with your attorney, and you can make up your mind. Okay. I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Thank you.
Judge, can I announce for you on some of my multitude of cases?
Just give me 1 moment.
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, when you have a moment, can I go into a breakout room with my client, and can we have screen sharing enabled?
Yes. All right. So Stacy Cross, your client, what's your client's name, please?
Eduardo Escalera. He's under Eduardo's S21 plus.
All right, I'm going to send him to breakout room number 2. And I'll send you to 2. All right, and Robert Maurer.
Judge Antonio Casablanca, do you want a case number or just a name?
Oh, no, just the name is fine.
Antonio
So Casablanca, what's happening with Mr.
That is going to be a jury trial.
All right, so what I'll do on that one, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with the state and with Norma, so you guys can confer on a jury trial date.
Okay. Well, and I think I was telling the DA, I guess if y'all just want to tell me when you want to do it, and then obviously, that but I've got so many cases that you and the other judges can fight over my carcass.
Yeah, but I still like y'all to have an agreement.
Okay.
So, Robert, if you'll go to breakout room number 3, and Norma, if you could go to 3, and Joe Ray, if you could go to 3 on Mr. Casablanca.
Judge, before I do that, one other one, Devonta Hempfield, just,
Yes.
So it's a weird case. It's a definite plea, but there's a question about restitution. My belief is the complainant is playing fast and loose, but that being said, what I'd like to do is I had a writ that I had to answer based upon restitution hearing being done after the appellate deadline. If it's possible for us to do it like a plea and then it's a recommendation to defer and do a sentencing and restitution hearing at the same time. At a
Yes.
in person.
Yes.
So if we can, I guess I'll talk to Norma and see when we can do that plea on Mr.
Oh, we can do the plea today.
Judge, I have you, as much as I love this court and it warms my heart to
I
be.
don't feel that you love this court, but okay.
I had 226 and 437th in person, and I still have the 175th after I finished with you.
We can do that in the afternoon. We're here from 9 to 5, Robert.
How about tomorrow?
Okay, see, I would say that, but we've been here since June. Well, since May to do since May to do a plea on this case.
Well, this is not a Robert Mauer issue. This is a complainant issue as far as restitution. My client's been ready to take a plea for a definite period of time.
Let's just see how we come along, Robert, on that. Okay, so who's your other one?
Well, I've got, let's see, Andre Hernandez. So the Andre Hernandez, you had given me a reset for him to come in and look at a video. We have our plea bargain deadline and you extended it till today.
Yes.
But he wasn't able to make it in. And I wanted to see if you could recall it for tomorrow so he can come in this afternoon and look at his video. This is on the ag assault case, which is the most important of all the cases.
All right. Okay, we'll recall that for tomorrow.
Okay. And Judge, Mr. Hernandez should be on there. If you can let him know, he can come down to my office this afternoon and look at it.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, you need to go to your attorney's office. We're going to recall this for tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. I will be there as soon as possible, meaning the next hour or so.
Okay. And so, Judge, let's see. Casablanca, I'm going to go get a reset date, correct?
Yes. And Hunter, or whoever's doing the paperwork for Mr. Hemphill, could you please get that paperwork done?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge, and we can do like a joint sentencing restitution hearing?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right. So if you'll go to number 3, and Norma, if you could go to 3, please.
Judge, I sent you a chat.
Okay. Oh, yes, I saw that. Thank you. All right, Mr. Parrish, has your client made a decision?
Yes, Judge, she has. She elects to work on this probation and opt for the drug court.
All right, she's going to end up getting extended.
Yes.
And she's going to remain in custody until accepted into felony drug court.
All right. Do you know what the timetable for that would be?
Drug court, I'm not sure if they have room or not. So I'm unsure what the time frame will be, but I know felony drug court will speak with her quickly. So.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
Okay.
Are we done?
No, we're not done.
Okay.
All right, we are back on the record. And 2018 CR 12234W, State of Texas versus Amy Barbosa. Defense, did you have a chance to confer with your client on whether or not she wants to be revoked or continued?
We have, Judge.
And what is your client's decision?
My client elects to enroll or apply for the drug court.
All right, I'll deny the motion. Yeah, don't touch anything yet. I'll deny the motion. Extend for 2 years. Transfer, refer to felony drug court. defendant to remain in custody until accepted. There's to be weekly reporting by Zoom or in person upon release. Until further notice. TAP evaluation. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or any employment involving minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Field visits 3 times per month, random. And what I can tell you is she is going to have to remain in Bexar County if she's going to felony drug court. So there will be no transfer of her probation. Does everyone understand? Ms. Barbosa, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Your probation will not be transferred. You will remain in Bexar County. So
Okay.
do not tell felony drug court that you are going to be living in another county.
Okay.
Because if you do, then you will not be acceptable to felony drug court. If
Okay.
you're not acceptable to felony drug court, you're going to end up going to safety. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. Is there anything else that you need from the court, Ms. Barbosa?
No, ma'am.
Rebecca, is there anything else she needs?
No, ma'am.
All right. And you're going to get employment. You understand? Or either
Yes, ma'am.
proof of SSI or something else, but you will
Yes.
have employment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Okay.
Mr. Parrish, you can go to number 4. Either you can be excused.
I'll join Briv to talk to my client.
All right. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Have a good Monday. Matthew Allen.
Yes, Judge, here on Noah Nellum.
Yes. What is happening?
We were waiting on the competency eval. We did get that. We were in Judge Carruthers' court, I believe, last week. He was held to be competent. So we got an offer from the prosecutor today. I talked to Noah. He was asking for maybe 2 weeks to just, I guess, think about it and discuss it with his family, if that's possible.
All right. Do you have you received all the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Norma, on Nellum, can you recall that? And you said 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
If we could get 3, that would be great.
All right, Norma, can we put this back on August 23rd as well or no? I don't see her on the screen. Okay. All right, we'll see you back on August 23rd.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Do you need to speak with your client?
No, Your Honor.
Let me ask you something. You said they said he was competent?
Yes.
All right, just give me one moment.
Okay.
Do you know if your client's on any type of medications at the jail?
Let me check the report.
Because that August 23rd date may not be a good day.
I guess if I could go to a breakout room, I'll ask him just to confirm before I.
Sure. Mr. Nellum, if you could go to breakout room number 5, please, with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Robert Bauer on Casablanca.
Yeah, Judge, so I got a date from Norma of, wait for it. This is me in my highly organized state.
Yes.
September 30th.
All right, we'll put it on the record. Where's Mr. Casablanca?
Because he was having, I've talked to him, he was having problems logging on, but he should be on. I've talked, there he is, Judge. I've talked
All right,
about,
Mr. Casablanca, I need you to show your video, please. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 0153, State of Texas versus Antonio Casablanca. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Joe Ray Garcia.
for the defense?
Robert Mauer for defendant, Your Honor.
All right, and then are you Antonio Casablanca?
Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Excuse me, State, it's my understanding you tendered an offer to defense. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
And Mr. Mauer, are you all rejecting that offer?
We are, Judge. We're requesting a jury trial.
All right, and Mr. Casablanca, are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, both state and defense have had a chance to confer on a jury trial date. Defense, have you received all the discovery?
I have, Judge.
All right, state, if possible, are you able to get an acknowledgement of discovery to the court by August 13th?
Yes, Judge. Send it today.
All right, then your jury trial date, Mr. Casablanca, will be September 30th, 2021 at 9 a.m. Any objections to that date from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections to that date from the defense?
Judge, not from defense. I just want the court to know, obviously, if I'm free, I will be in your court. But I just want the court to know, I'm not requesting that. It's just what I have available at this moment, depending on what other courts want.
All right. Mr. Casablanca, do you have any objection to September 30th as a jury trial date?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Casablanca, your plea deadline date has expired. What that means is that the court will not accept any plea bargaining agreements after today. Your jury trial date will be September 30th, 2021 at 187 District Court. It's located at 300 De La Rosa. You'll need to be here at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you will need to appear in person. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Casablanca, when is your trial date?
September 30th
What time?
at 9 a.m.
What location?
It's at the 187th courtroom. on
All
the
right.
road.
Okay, thank you. If there's nothing else with Mr. Casablanca, we'll close the record and he can be excused. Defense, anything else?
No, Judge, I'm going to go see if I can reset some other cases while I'm waiting for Hunter to do the paperwork on him.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Casablanca, then you're excused.
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, actually, can I go to breakout room with Mr. Casablanca real quick?
All right, Mr. Casablanca, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. And your
Yes, ma'am.
attorney will meet you there. All right, Matthew Allen, Mr. Nellam.
Yes, Judge. He is currently on some medications at the jail.
All right, then we're going to need a different date. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Norma Ferguson, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Nellam, I need this brought back in exactly 2 weeks. No
Okay.
further out than that.
I can do the 23rd, Judge.
No, it needs to be the week of the 16th. Can we do the 16th? Or no? Okay, we'll have you back on August 16th. Mr. Allen, I want to make sure that there's no competency issues. And if we push this out longer than that, there may be.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Nellam, We're going to see you back on August 16th, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Norm, can you let them know that 14N can go back?
You guys are
Jorge Canales, are you ready on Mr. Gary?
Yes, Judge, I was just about to chat with you on that. I'm ready.
Okay. All right, just give me one moment. John Perez?
Yes, Judge, I was summoned.
Yes. You filed this motion on Edward Morales for continuance.
Yes, Judge.
And you say that he does dialysis on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, but then you asked us to have a hearing on Tuesday. So did you mean for us to have a hearing on Tuesday? Because you said he does dialysis Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And then it says that we would prefer that he be set on Tuesday.
Let me double check. That may have been a miswording of the motion.
Okay.
Let me double check with my office really quickly. I will get right back to you.
Sure, okay,
I appreciate it, Judge.
no problem. And then we'll take up Mr. Garraway. And Stacy, I'm going to send you and your client to a breakout room so the clerks can swear in your client.
Okay.
I just received the paperwork. So I'm going to send you to number 1.
Okay.
Clerks, go to number 1, please.
Thank you, Judge.
Closer.
All right. The court is calling 2021 CR 4792, State of Texas versus Eric Garay. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We're here for sentencing. We're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
And the court will note for the record that the defendant, Eric Garay, is in the courtroom. According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state waived the habitual enhancement allegation. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State is remaining silent on the defendant's application. There's an affirmative finding of family violence and no contact with Valeria Garay. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
The state has, Your Honor.
Defense has, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
None from the state.
Defense?
Judge, we have some as to page 9, the official version that's noted there. There's some dispute as to the correctness of what is said in that section, Judge. And it's this is basically a struggle over a telephone. And I think I am calling Ms. Valeria Garay, the complainant. I think she would be in a better position to explain to the court what I'm talking about as far as the corrections to that section.
Okay. You can call whatever witnesses you would like to call, counsel.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you calling Valerie Garay?
I am, Your Honor.
And I saw them in the back of the courtroom loved up, and it says, according to the plea bargain agreement, there was to be no contact with her. So we're off to a bad start because he's obviously having contact with her. Could you please come forward?
Sorry, Judge, I thought they were separate.
Oh, no, they were in the back room, sitting in the back row, hugged up together. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to need you to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record and spell it, please?
It's Valeria Garay, Valeria Garay.
Right, defense?
Okay, Ms. Garay, I spoke to you earlier regarding, and previously, a couple of weeks back, as to the version that the police report is showing of the incident on that date.
Well, let me stop you right there. I'm sorry to interrupt counsel. If she's going to say that something that's in the police report, that's not the way it happened and that it's not true, and it's something that she said, then she needs an attorney. So if she's coming here to dispute the allegations that are in the police report and her statements that are in the police report, then she'll need an attorney appointed to her. So is that what we're about to do?
That's what she wants to do, Your Honor.
All right. Well, we'll get an attorney for her. Just step back, Ms. Gray. We're going to have an attorney for you. And you all need to sit separate in the courtroom because there's a no contact order. All right, we're going to go off the record. We're going to get an attorney for her.
All right, Judge.
Ms. Gray, don't leave the courtroom. Yes, John Perez.
Yes, Judge, I am back. I confirmed it is, he has dialysis on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So we are requesting a Tuesday or Thursday.
Okay. All right, so it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Norma, on Edward Morales. Can you recall this for Tuesday or Thursday, please?
Yes, ma'am. Which day is John available? Tuesday or Thursday?
John?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you for Norma. Say that again.
Which day are you available, Tuesday or Thursday?
Of next week?
No, this week, because he said this week on the 4th.
Oh, then give me 2 seconds. I think Thursday is going to be a better date. Thursday will definitely be a better date.
All right,
And I'll
so
be in your court. I'll be in your court anyways.
Oh, hey, welcome. So we'll see you then August 5th.
That'll work, Judge. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, and Norma, we need an attorney for Miss Valerie Garay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, you can take that back, and I need that file, the one that's with the pink sticky.
Yes.
And the prosecutor who is on Eduardo Escalera, Joe Ray, could you send me a copy of the discovery? Just email it to me, please.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Eduardo Escalera, you need to start your video.
Judge, I send you a text.
All right, will do. All right, the court is going to call 2020 CR 0291, State of Texas versus Eduardo Escalera. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia.
For the defense? For the defense? Stacey Krause? I think she's frozen in time. All right, let me remove her and then have her zoom back in. Here she is.
I apologize about that, Judge. My computer died. I'm in the courtroom and my computer died just as we were starting.
All right. So I was taking announcements. So for the defense.
Stacey Krause on behalf of Eduardo Escalera.
And are you Eduardo Escalera?
Yes.
We're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Escalera, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I received everything that's listed on that form, Judge, and I did, and we did review it with my client.
All right, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Escalera, I'm going to show you a document entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you weigh the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Escalera, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that you're charged with the offense of repeated violation of a court order or bond condition, family violence? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Just one moment off the record. Mr. Patrick Phillick, if you can go to breakout room number 1, please.
Yes,
And
Your
the
Honor.
clerks will meet you there to go over, to swear your client in.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, we're back on the record. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Mr. Escalera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'll show you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, fine is to be assessed at $1,500. That will be probated. This state is recommending deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with County Court Cause number 645421. The state will take in consideration the following JN numbers: 2024964, 2025174, 2025175, and there's to be no contact with Vanessa Pena. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Judge, there is another case that they are going to be TICing. It currently has a CM number. And it's on my computer, which now is shut down. And I don't know if Joe Ray was able to figure out that CM number, but our agreement includes rejection of that case as well.
That's right, Judge. It's currently a warrant. I don't have any information on our system as of what the number is, though.
How does that warrant get lifted? Is my question, I guess.
What is the charge in the CM number?
Violation of protective order, Judge. And it's in the violation report in his file, so the CM number's on that, so you may have access to that, Judge.
All right, we will see. Because that's not in my file. Norma, do you have the violation report on Mr. Escalera?
Let me see, Judge. Give me 1 second.
And Judge, just for purposes of letting you know, I need to speak about the no contact order at the appropriate time. And he is currently on GPS monitor, so we're going to be asking for that to be taken off.
Well, before we go into any of that, is the no contact with Vanessa Pena a part of the plea bargain agreement, or is it not a part of the plea bargain agreement?
It is part of the plea bargain agreement, Judge. They have 4 children together, and they don't have any court orders regarding, communication about the children. So I'm asking, because she constantly contacts him about the children, and him answering the call when she does it gets him into trouble. So he needs to stop doing that. So I'm asking for third-party contact to be permissible with Ricardo Pena, which is Vanessa Pena's father. So if she wants to pass a message on to my client about the children, she can do it through her father. Her father can then tell my client, and then my client can respond to her father. That's what I'm asking for.
Okay, well, we'll address that. Thank you. So no one knows the CM number?
I don't have the violation report, Judge, and the CM number isn't in our system.
I'm trying to locate that, Judge. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Judge, if you give me a few minutes, I'm gonna call the PR people.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I may have found it right now. I
Okay,
believe this
awesome.
is it.
Yes.
It's CM 88425.
Mission accomplished. This is like a mission impossible, Brenna. Only nobody had to fly down from the ceiling, which is very disappointing. All right. We're going to go back on the record. So as part of the plea bargaining agreement, the state will also be taking in consideration CM number 88425. Did all parties understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargaining agreement, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense? You're on mute, Ms. Cross.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Escalera, did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, and the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State, any evidence support the defendant's plea?
It offers takes Exhibit 1 and all its attachments.
No objections.
Mr. Escalera, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding you guilty as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client is, was obviously in a toxic relationship with this woman, and he's no longer in that relationship with her. They do have 4 children together, and one of those children is a special needs child. And so, with regards to being able to have contact about the children, that's something that, she contacts him a lot. Sometimes she just drops the kids off without contacting him at his house. And so I feel like, I'm going to ask that the state, when they go back and talk to her about what happened today, let her know that a no contact order means he can't answer the phone when she calls. And if she wants to have contact with him, then she needs to ask for that. As I understand it right now, she's telling the state she wants a no contact order. And that means when she calls, he can't answer the phone and he can't respond to her text. So we're asking for a third party to be designated. That the third party that we thought would be fair would be her father, Ricardo Pena, the complainant's father. And she can contact, if she wants to give information about the children to my client, she can do it through him rather than calling or texting my client directly. My client's also on GPS monitor right now, Judge, and we're asking for that to be lifted.
All right. The court is not inclined to lift GPS. I read the police report. What does him being involved with children have to do with him going over to her place and kicking down the door?
And Judge, that I have an explanation for if you would like to hear on evidence in the case. Okay, so that door was actually broken months prior by when he had to break into the house in order to, the keys were locked in or something like that. I'm trying to remember exactly what he told me. But so the door was already broken and he was trying to fix it. You can see in one of the pictures, there's nails in the door. He went to the kitchen. One of the reports says he went to the kitchen to get a hammer. He did, and he put nails in the door trying to fix it because it was already.
What the police report says is that he kicked in the door saying that he wanted to use the restroom. And then he got a hammer saying, well, let me fix it.
Yes, and I understand that, Judge. And this was, this did happen a couple of years ago. That was his explanation to me about what happened. Her and him got back together after the protective order expired. And so, and that's what this case is about the protective order. They got back together. He has paid for some surgeries for her and that sort of thing since then. But she wants, she's indicated to the state that she wants a strict no contact order. So, he's gonna comply with that, Judge. And I've made it really clear to him that he cannot answer the phone when she calls anymore. And I'm just asking that she explain that so that she's not getting upset at him when he's not answering the phone.
Mr. Escalera, do you have employment?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I work at MHI. It's a construction company.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. $1,500 fine. That'll be probated. Concur with County Court Cause number 645421. Take in consideration JN numbers 2024964, 2025174, 2025175, CM number 88425. There's to be no contact with Vanessa Pena. VIPP course, 3 years deferred adjudication, 100 hours community service restitution, parenting classes with compadre, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or any employment involving minors. Has Child Protective Services been involved in your life with these children?
No.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'll be clean.
All right, we're going to do a UA today. And that'll be through probation.
Okay.
Regular Zoom reporting. And if you can't report by Zoom, then that'll need to be in person.
Okay.
Random field visits 2 times per month. And if he's negative, then it will be regular UAs. If he's not, then it'll be the UA hotline or patch. And that means you're negative for everything, including marijuana, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Rebecca, does he need anything else?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Escalera, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful on this probation?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense, I'm gonna keep GPS, come back in 2 months. If he's doing great on GPS, then I'll consider removing it.
Judge, right now, his restrictions on GPS are for work only. His children are going to be starting school very soon, and he has one of his children living with him. The oldest child is, so he needs permission to be able to go and purchase clothing and that sort of thing for his child, and also to be able to take his child to school when school does start.
All right, he's allowed to go to work on GPS, Rebecca, and also to, is your child taking the bus to school, or how's your child getting to school?
No, I gotta drop him off.
All right, and then he's allowed to drop his child off to school.
Miss Boyd, is there any way that I can keep on GPS and just remove the house arrest?
State, do you have any objection to GPS tracking?
No, we leave it to your discretion, Your Honor, at least till he pleads on the ABI family case.
When is the
And we're
plea?
not sure when it's going to be, Joe Ray, because Judge De Leon's father died, so we don't know what's happening there.
Okay.
But I have requested a plea date.
All right, then what I'm gonna do GPS. He's allowed to work. Allowed to drop and pick up child from school. Well, transport his child to and from school.
And what about taking his child for clothing shopping and that sort of thing for school?
Just talk to your probation officer, and your probation officer will send a request to me, and I'll agree to that.
Okay.
But I need some dates. It's not going to be, we're just out doing this and you're just, contacting me and saying, every day we've been going for school shopping. So just let probation know. And Rebecca, just let probation, if you give them a date, Mr. Escalera, I'll approve it, but I want to know a date, okay?
Okay.
The concern, Mr. Escalera, I have is that this is continued violation of protective order. I'm sorry, or bond conditions.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And so this whole thing about you and her contacting you, you're not allowed to have contact with her. And if you all want to do third party or whatever, you all need to take care of whatever civil issues you have. This is not a civil court. What I'm telling you is there is to be no contact with her. That means you can't call her. That means she's not supposed to be calling you. If she does call you, then you can't respond to her. And there is no communication by you through third parties to her. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So Ms. Cross, if they want to get whatever civil orders they need for custody arrangements or whatever, this is not the court for it.
I understand, Judge. There, she obviously hasn't taken those steps. She's trying to use the criminal justice system to do that. So, I mean, I guess the state, Joey, will you explain to her she needs to stop calling him?
Yeah, we'll tell her.
All right, I'll send you all to breakout room, and probation will go over conditions with you. I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
And And Judge, would you let Stacy know that I need to talk to her afterwards, please?
All right, and Stacy, if you could remain afterwards, please.
Okay. Was that Norma?
Yes. All right, and Mr. Phillips?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, where are we?
Your Honor, I am just waiting to get the application, the consent, and the certificate from Norma.
Okay. And we'll take this up, but the court takes its recess at 12:30.
Very good, Your Honor.
He's supposed to have no contact with her, no, no, there ain't.
Norma, what is happening with Mr. Lemire? Is she in a breakout room?
Yes, ma'am.
What is happening with this defendant on the screen, Mr. Lemire and Joseph Holstrom?
I gotta call Bobby. Let me find out where Bobby's at.
Hey, Norma, I'm back.
Hi, do you need to speak with, let me see you in a breakout room, Ms. Cross. If you could go to breakout room number 3, please.
Okay.
And Jorge, if you could go to 3, please. And Joe Ray, if you could go to breakout room number 3, please.
Yes, sir.
Robert, you hear from Mr. Hemphill? Yeah. It's a Monday. All right, Stacy, do you need to speak with Miss? You're on mute.
Oh, yeah, I'm muted. Judge, I understand she's in the courtroom, so I'm going to go find her and then I'll have a
Okay.
conversation with her and then
All right, thank you. Ms. Cross, we're gonna take our break. Deputy Laura, can you let Stacy Cross know when she comes?
I didn't leave yet.
That's okay. We're gonna take our break at 12:30.
Okay.
So if you
So
can,
I got 9 minutes is what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, you can go ahead and talk to her, but if you can come back at 2.
Judge, can
Oh,
you,
you want me to come back? Okay, so I'll talk to her here and then I'll come back on Zoom at 2.
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
thank
do
you.
that. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Yes, Robert?
put me in a breakout with Mr. Hemphill so we can get, I got my part signed.
Okay, Mr.
Hold on.
Hemphill?
Time out, Mr. Maurer.
Uh-oh.
I have an update for you.
Okay.
After
Dismissal.
speaking with everyone at the complainant's factory, it does appear they got their stuff back. So a restitution hearing will not be necessary.
Okay. Sounds to me like they got caught red-handed there, Hunter.
I'll see you at number 3.
All right, but please going to proceed anyway. It was just a question of restitution.
Okay.
Thanks, Hunter. I appreciate it.
All right. And Jorge Canales, on your case, we'll be back at 2.
Okay, Judge, I'll be here.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Lamar, we're going to come back at 2 on your case as well.
Judge Boyd, did you get a letter from my grandmother?
Oh, Mr. Lamar, I don't talk to people about cases unless their attorney is here and the state is here, okay?
Okay.
So we'll be back at 2. All right, and Mr. Philick.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, has all the paperwork been completed?
No, Your Honor, I'm still waiting to receive the paperwork from Norma.
Okay.
It's been sent. It should be in your, it should be in your email.
Okay, let me. I just got it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so Norma, we'll need Edna Villalba. That's Lorraine Ephraim. That'll be at 2. Christopher Lemire, that'll be at 2. And do you know about Ed Bartholomew and Ruben Hernandez?
Mr. Hernandez is still in the hospital, Judge.
Okay. Okay, we're saying he's in the hospital, but I don't have any notation in the file anywhere that he's in the hospital. The last thing I have is from February 23rd, he was remanded without bond. So if
Judge,
he's in the,
it was
yes,
that time that his wife zoomed him in and he was in the hospital.
all right, recall it for August 23rd. We'll see what happens. And then Eric Garay, that's at 2 p.m., Norma. And then I don't know what Robert is doing with D'Anthony Dixon, but we'll figure that out at 2.
Hey, Judge,
Hi, yes.
on D'Anthony Dixon, what's Robert doing on that case?
Request and return of property.
Okay, there's an ongoing civil case that I believe pertains to that same property.
Okay.
I emailed the ADA.
Okay, so we'll need to set this and everybody needs to be here. And we'll see where we are.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thanks. Lorraine Ephraim.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, we'll be back at 2.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And is your client on bond or in custody?
She's on bond. May I excuse her or do you need
Yes.
her?
Yes,
Okay.
she'll be back at 2.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Judge, my client signed the paperwork, is signing the paperwork now. We'll be on it too and ready to go.
All right, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. All right, Brenda, you can sign off. Yeah. Everyone, we're going to return at 2 p.m. Patrick Phillip will return at 2 p.m. with your plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Brenda
Thank
needs a break and Rebecca needs a break, and it's Monday. All right, we'll see you then. I'm gonna stop live stream. See